you were the first Black woman to receive the Distinguished Flying Cross. What does that mean, for you and, for future generations of airmen?
For me, it was an exciting moment to hear that. Sometimes it can be shocking to hear that you're still the first of something, but at the same time, I know that I'm part of a small community, one of African Americans and then African American females. And I guess for the future generations of airmen, it makes me excited for smaller communities like the one that I was from to understand the opportunities that lie for them or that can be available for them within the Air Force and then within the airlift or just whether that's flying or being a loadmaster. It just makes me excited to see that they have these opportunities available for them. And then just in general, being grateful for this opportunity to be awarded alongside my crewmates as well as other airmen. You
were assigned to the 437th Airlift Wing, and on the last day in Kabul, can you sort of describe, the chaos of what was going on before that final flight?
Well, one, it was super chaotic being that we went in at night, and for some reason, when you go under the cover of night, that just makes things automatically more intense. But there was a lot of ground movement that was occurring, a lot of fire in terms of shots being, shot into the air, for lack of better words. So that created just a real chaotic picture. But fortunately, just a team of professionals, from the other pilots and loadmasters that I worked with, as well as just the team that was on the ground, ensuring that the planes were kept safe. So that just made everything run a lot more smoother than it could have.
What were you feeling, when you sort of took off from Kabul for the last time? Did you know it was going to be your final flight out?
Yes, we knew it was going to be our final flight, just from the different announcements being made, as well as the briefings that we had in preparation going into Kabul for the final night. It was very methodical, very planned out. And then so we were all aware that this was the last time for really to showcase what Air Mobility Command can bring to the fight.
What were you feeling knowing that this was sort of the end of our activities in Afghanistan?
I guess I was feeling just a little bit of relief, knowing we had been there for a while, but then also just grateful seeing the progress that we had made, the amount of people that we were able to evacuate. So a sense of relief, and then also just a sense of gratitude to be able to be a part of it all.
51 airmen were recognized in November for, acts during the Afghanistan evacuation. What do you think about, when people call you guys heroes?
It can be a little strange, just for myself. I can't speak to everyone else, but I think we can all agree that we were there really just to do our job, do what we were trained to do. So while super grateful for the title as well as the award, ultimately it just came down to being a crew and doing what we were called upon.
You joined in 2017, so I assume you have a long career ahead of you. What are you hoping to do with the rest of your Air Force career?
I have currently about 6 years remaining, at least on my commitment. I do plan on continuing my journey with the Air Force following that, but I actually just came back from some training. I had been a co-pilot for a little while, and so just going into that next phase of my career, being an aircraft commander, being in charge and taking responsibility. That is what I'm looking forward to, and then just also getting into some specialized fields within the C-17 community.